Hello everyone, it's Wendy. I'm here today to show you how I made this little tag. It's made from an envelope like this. I don't get much mail over here, but I did get two. Well, one went to a neighbour and I had to open it for them because they don't live here anymore, so she asked me to open it and check what it was. Anyway, but I thought, I did put them in the recycling bag, but then I thought no, I'm going to make something with them because it's not often I get window envelopes. So I made this little tag. You can't get in it, it's not an envelope or pocket or anything, but I've stitched it all round, but I put an image under the window and I covered all the envelope with some paper. I've used various digis from different designers. This is from Tracy Fox, this paper and this paper is from Pink Monarch Prints, and there's some other bits from Pink Monarch Prints as well. Now this is what I used from Tracy Fox. I think they were, I'm not sure whether it's something I bought or whether it was a freebie, but I decided to use a similar image like this. So what I did was tear this in half and stick it into the envelope first. But I keep this to make into a little booklet. It's only got 8 pages, so it's quite thin, but it just slips into the pocket there. So let's go ahead and make one. So we've got the envelope and I need to measure how big this opening is, but first I'm going to trim off these raggedy edges in my guillotine at the side. Now it doesn't matter if I don't cut it right down because this is all going to be glued down anyway, but I do want to fold up ready for the pocket there. So first I need to measure the window, which is 4.5 centimeters by just about 10. So if I have my paper like that and wrap it around the envelope, my window is going to be sort of around there. So what I'm going to do is just, the distance from the edge of the envelope to the window is 2 centimeters. So first I'm going to do that. So measure 2 centimeters there. Then I said it was 4.5 wide. So I'm going to draw a line where those 2 centimeter lines are there, 4.5. And then it was 10 deep, 10 depth. So I'm just sort of eyeballing this, making sure I've got the same distance from the edge of my ruler all the way down as best as I can. So I'm going to go, that's 2, so I need to go down to about 12. Now it doesn't have to be precise. 4.5 and then down here. Now the easiest way I have found to cut this out is I get a cutting mat, which is one of my old chopping boards out the kitchen, and I get my craft knife and I put the blade in the corner and sort of go right across to the opposite diagonal corner, and the same on there. About there, and then I fold these back like so, and that also just gives a bit of a neater edge to your window when you look through it from the other side. Some people might like to tear it and have a torn edge, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is get my envelope now and just make sure that I'm a little bit showing the white there. So what I'm going to do is just fold that up a fraction more, like so. Okay, so get rid of my board. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's actually pouring, well, not pouring down, but it is raining at the moment. So yes, we do get rain in Spain occasionally. We're in desperate need of it. We've not had any rain for such a long time, really. Well, nothing to talk about. It's very little rain this winter. So I'm just gluing down these flaps, like so. Then what I'm going to do is measure the top of the envelope down to where my fold is, where I'm going to fold my pocket, but a little bit shorter. So I'm going to take it down to 15 centimetres, and that's where I'm going to cut my paper. I'm just going to get rid of this. No, I don't need to get rid of that white because I'm going to ink it. So I'm just going to cut that at 15 and a bit centimetres, and then that is all going to wrap round the envelope. So I'm just going to ink this up here because I forgot to trim that white border off there. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue around the window first, and then round the rest of the envelope up to the sides, and then stick this over the window as best and near as I can, like so. That's fine. Then I'm going to fold it over and wrap it around. But before I do that, I'm just going to pop a bit of glue in this opening and glue it all down. See, it doesn't matter about your raggedy edges where I've opened the envelope, because that's all going to be covered up with paper. And it just about meets. So I'm going to pop glue all down there and glue that down. This glue, I refilled it yesterday and it doesn't half keep clogging up. I have to keep getting my pin out. It must have little lumps in somewhere. It's a bit of a nuisance. Get rid of that. Right, let me see. Glue this one down as well. Like so. Just about meets. So that is that bit covered. Just got a little bit of the envelope sticking up there, but I'm just going to ink that, and I'm going to put a tab on it anyway, so you won't really notice it when I've stitched round. So the pocket folds up. So what I want to do is cut a piece of paper to just cover this pocket. So it's going to be about 9.5 centimetres by 4 3/4. So I've got a bit of paper here. So I'll just use some of this and cut that. Just say about 9.5 by 4 3/4. It doesn't have to be exact. Let's just see if that fits. Yeah, so I'm just going to ink the edges here. Ink this paper as well, just slightly. And stick this onto the pocket front. And I want to cut a little semicircle tab in. Like so. Yeah. Get my little circle punch. And just cut a little bit of a semicircle just to show that it's a pocket. And because the glue was still wet, it just didn't punch as cleanly as it should do. And I'll just ink that. So I'm just going to put a line of glue along there just to glue the pocket shut, but I am going to stitch as well, so that's fine. But we have got a bit there, so I'm going to stick a spare piece of paper over there as well, like so. Just glue that one on. Make sure it goes right up to the edge because it's going to be on the edges of the envelope as well. That's fine. No such thing as perfection. Do you know what I've not done? Put my picture behind. Stupid. So I'm going to have to split this open. What not to do when you're on camera. So I'm cutting a slit in there to get, then I can get into the envelope again. I should have done this obviously before I glued the paper round. So I'm going to cut this piece off because I want the birds to be in the window, and there's writing on it, so I want it to be that way up, like so. Right, so what I need to do is put some glue on the back of here. Honestly, I can't believe I've done that. When you're doing your prototype, it works out perfectly, doesn't it? As soon as you put the phone onto camera, you start making silly mistakes. Right, so like that. Now, I'm not going to bother gluing that top shut because I am going to put a tab on it, and I'm also going to go round and stitch on my sewing machine. So I do have a tab punch, and I've punched a few out already in here. And with my prototype, I did put a piece of paper, a little offcut. I glued it over the tab and cut round it so that the tab matched the paper on the of the tag. So I'm just going to stick that down and cut it out before I go to the sewing machine. Just going to rip that off, fold it and start cutting it out. Should have done this really before I punched the tab out, but I'd already got the tabs punched, and with the previous one I did just have a little piece of paper, so I thought I'd just use it to cover the tab. So I'm just going to cut the insert, the inner bits off there. I can feel the card with my scissors, like, I know you can't see through the paper, but I can actually feel the card underneath the paper with my scissors. And I'm going to ink that. Then I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. So I shall be back in a couple of minutes. Just glue this on. I want that as the front with that writing on there. So I'm putting that on, gluing together like so. Right, I'm just going to switch the camera off for a sec, and I'll be back in a minute when I've stitched this as well. Right, so I stitched all round here, and I'm just going to leave the ends hanging. I think I mentioned last week that my sewing machine is playing up a bit and I can't do zigzag, but I am taking it on Monday to a Spanish shop that I've found that does servicing and repairs. So it's I don't know, it's just gone a bit, probably needs good service because I've never really maintained it, which is very naughty. Anyway, where are we up to? Where's the other piece of that tag I ripped in half for the bird image. I'm going to fold that in half and make it into a little booklet. But first I'm going to ink the edges, and then I'm just going to staple some offcuts of paper in. I do make cards and I have lots of strips of paper what I have left over from my inserts, like this, A4 pieces of paper, and I have them left over like that. So that's just about the right length. So they're folded in half already. I'm going to fold them in half again, and then I'm going to chop this piece off. So it's just over 1 centimetre I need to chop. See if that's right. Just another fraction more. My normal stapler will do for this because it'll reach into the middle. So I want the staple closing on the inside, so I'm just going to line my fold line up with my staple there. Bend the ends back in because they tend to curl up a little, not curl, they sort of loop up a bit, like so. So that will slot into the pocket there. But first I'm just going to stick a few little images on the front here. So I've already got some words, and I've got a piece of fabric to go through here. So I'm just going to punch a hole with my crocodile and do the bigger of the circles. Feed the material through. Then I'm going to tie it with a piece of cotton. I just want it to fold and gather nicely in the hole, so like so. So I want a piece of cotton, and I've got some crochet cotton here, so I'm just going to tie that around. Slide it down to as near to the tab as I can and tie it tight and into another knot. So that shouldn't come off, and then just put a little bow on the front. Get rid of these ends, like so. Now my words and my image. So I've got an image from Pink Monarch Prints, and I think the words are from her as well. I thought I had 2 lots of words. That would look, I'm going to ink that and put that down that side there as well. Just rip a bit off the bottom because I don't need it all. I do enjoy just messing around like this, nothing in particular in mind, just pull some bits out and play around. Stick that down there for a bit of colour contrast. Put my butterfly and life is in the details, and then I stuck a sticker on the front of my book on the other one, so I'm just going to ink round that because it's quite white. Try and get the backing off. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on as well because I don't always trust the stickiness of some of these. Like so. That can go in the pocket. And put the butterfly on in this corner. And I can have life is in the details, so I'm going to cut that life is in an ink and put it in, stick it on 2 different parts. So we'll have one up there, like so, and one down here on the pocket, just on the side of the butterfly there. Get rid of all them bits. So you've got your little booklet, slots in the pocket, and a tag. So I think that's quite nice. Where's my other one gone? Down here. Put my pin back in my glue. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm quite happy with those. Just something a little bit different for me. So I've used some bits from Pink Monarch Prints, and Tracy Fox is the tags, bird images. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and I would love you to be a subscriber. And I still have the journal for sale from about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I am going to reduce it by €5. So that's just under a kilo in weight. So I'm reducing it down to €35, and it's costing me £21.65 to post. So the rest will go to the charity La Finca Castellana, and I do leave a link in the description box below for them, for the work that they do for the animals, and it's where we got Rico from. And on Facebook yesterday it popped up on my memories on the 8th of March that it was 6 years ago that we got Rico, that they brought him over to our house for him to come and live with us. So I've been supporting them for 6 years now. So I shall see you next time. Bye.